Game number 2, let's see where we're going. Leftovers has opted to invite us over the Battlefield of Eternity. They've seen the success that they've had in team fights, and they're looking to go back to that and see if they can make some magic continue.
Also, I mean, let's talk a little bit about the maps in general. I mentioned when we were heading into Volskaya that Dignitas was, I think, 10-0.
Yeah.
That's their best map by far. And they were just defeated there by Leftovers. So that is incredibly impressive, especially since for Leftovers, it has been a very popular map to choose. It has not been their best map by any means. Actually, they have a much better track record on Battlefield of Eternity than they do on Volskaya. So that alone must give them a bit of a confidence boost. Still, they go up against Dignitas on a map, but Dignitas hasn't lost yet either. 5-0 on BOE. But still, beating them on their best map, that must feel good at least.
That point reminds me of the interview that we all had with Dignitas going into Western Clash. One of the questions I asked them was, when was the last time you guys have gone into a match or a game where you had a plan A, it didn't work, and you had to adapt on the fly and go for plan B or maybe C? I was laughing because they just all looked around at each other. They're like, I don't remember when we last had our initial plan not go the way that we wanted to go. So you select your 10-0 map and you lose? If this isn't a plan B potential scenario, I don't know what is. They might have their memory jogged right now.
I mean, they came up with a couple of examples of scrims against the NNA teams where things were like a bit iffy, but yeah, I see what you're saying there. So Urel taken early on. This time we have the first pick reversed, and Urel is claimed right away. Leftovers picked it first last time, but this time they cannot deny Urel to Whoopi. We still have Leftovers banning out Tyrande, so they still feel that she doesn't properly fit their own playstyle here, as we heard from them in the interview last time. Something they might adjust later. Here's a Garrosh, and we have Deckard Cain, so also interrupting that potential Deckard Cain play for Zelia, but I think more importantly than anything else, Linked is such a playmaker with Deckard Cain. I mean, the 2 kills that we saw in Volskaya in the early game was basically off engages that he started.
What I really like about this draft so far for the Leftovers is how much Mopsio's reputation has afforded him in this game. You have to ban out Diablo against Mopsio, in my opinion, on his battleground. But that leaves Garrosh open. So I see a lot of instances where Urel tries to jump away, Garrosh throws him back in. We see someone on Dignitas near the Immortal Law, they're thrown in the stun range, they get rooted by Deckard Cain, they get blown up. By having to ban out the Diablo, you afford yourself these other S-tier styles of engagement.
But now we have Li Ming and Hammer taken for Dignitas, and I think that makes their composition already incredibly scary. And they have a fantastic offlaner, they have a really great setup here. ETC banned out. Makes sense from the perspective of Leftovers, since this is a comp where with ETC you can buy a lot of space just simply through you using your face melt the entire time. And this is something with Urel where you have the extra sustain too. So it's a really good ban from Leftovers perspective. There's still fantastic front laners for Dignitas available, but if ETC can do one thing, it's Peel for the backline.
Added commitment to the displacement with the Maiev pick. I'm really glad to see the Nazeebo ban. No chance of a Ginger Dread Nazeebo. I was not given a warning. I would have appreciated that. It's a nice counter to Nazeebo.
What's the problem with Gingerbread Nazeebo, though?
Caldo. You don't...
No, I don't. I have no clue.
Ginger
You mentioned it yesterday or the day before.
Yeah,
I was already like...
Ginger Dread Nazeebo's such a weird... Look, he's got that giant face. Can you trust that smile ever? No.
He looks yummy.
He's creepy.
You just eat it.
You would eat Ginger Dread Nazeebo?
Hell yeah.
Oh my god, counter.
It's like a cookie. It's a big walking cookie.
Well, you can enjoy that every time.
The problem is he's running away, so you have to actually catch him. You have to put some work into it.
To be completely honest, if you take Ginger Dread Nazeebo, it's fine. All I ask for is a warning.
I'm more scared of Candy Murden.
Ooh.
Especially with Lily. That's just creepy right there. We'll have Candy Girl. It's like, what? Get out of here.
Okay.
That's a banned skin right there, in my opinion.
That's fair. That's fair. We are going to see Zelia be able to pick Ana, which could be a pretty good target for Tracer to round out the draft. Who do you think? I actually really like the draft for Leftovers.
I mean, Leftovers are again in their pocket. They have their Maiev, they have Tracer, Deckard Cain. There's so many power picks for them, so many preference picks. It's actually crazy. But I mean, Dig is also looking at a setup where they, with Ana and Li Ming, now have a perfect synergy. You talk a lot about Fnatic and the Ana plays that they brought into game, and so this is going to be great for them too. I like both drafts here quite a lot. I mean, Tracer has to be very careful of Hammer, first of all. If you get into that auto-attack range, you can't dodge that. That's going to hit you hard.
Right.
And if any of these Li Ming combos connects, you're just done. But then again, it's DAB, and if he has proven anything, then it's that he always finds value. You can, no matter what draft you throw against that guy, if he plays Tracer, he is going to find some value. But the drafts are both strong. Dig has very good zone control, though. That's something that Leftovers misses a bit here, maybe.
No matter what, I feel like Mopsio is going to have a pretty interesting game. He's going to be eating so much poke at all times. He gets at all in range of Sergeant Hammer, he's the auto attack target. He gets in range of Li Ming, he's catching an orb of magic missiles directly to the face. But if the rest of the team can avoid the poke and get the full merits of their comp, it could be Jazz hands enough to come away with another victory. Game number 2 on the left side, we have Team Dignitas. Wooby's on Urel. Snitch this time is playing Sergeant Hammer. Zelia's on Ana. Poik is playing Li Ming. And JPL be rounding out with Murd.
And over to the right side, we have the Leftovers. Especially Tracer is going to be looking for that Ana a lot. But first we start here with Linked on Deckard Cain, with Blick Kidney on his Maiev, Podibos on Blaze, Mopsio on Garrosh, and one of the best assassins in Europe, DAB, gonna look for that Ana and that Li Ming trying to get those kills in with Tracer.
We have the 1-4 rotation, but not necessarily in the standard way. Leftovers already have 4 people up top. Blaze is just gonna hang back here and catch the soak, which is an interesting choice. It will potentially allow Leftovers to race, but it's also going to allow Team Dignitas with a Sergeant Hammer in Li Ming to make short work of this tower for free.
Yeah, they're going into the bot lane and take that tower apart really quickly, but there's a heavy commitment at the top too, and Leftovers definitely have a composition that can also pack a pretty punch with that setup.
They're looking to race. They're committed to it, like you read about. Switch is like, okay, I'll deal with this. The wall is going through, though. Kidney and crew are going to be able to do that. Wooby's like, okay, that's fine. I believe in my team's ability to race. I'm not going to overextend. Both of these teams showing that they're willing to make this map a dangerous prospect by giving these free structures.
Yeah, and they wait really long for that. DAB already starting to nibble away at the hit points, going for Zelia here, and Ana is in trouble. Ana is down. Down she goes, but the counter kill against Garrosh as we have Dignitas replying in kind with the reset on Li Ming.
Go for launch. Ana's thrown into the air and comes down as a ragdoll. 1-for-1 trade at the end of it, though. Leftovers showing that they are still more than willing to take the fight to a team that has not yet dropped a match in the HGC this year.
JPL working in the Storm Balls, has connected 3 of them, but he's on 6 stacks on this base quest simply through that kill. That's of course the added bonus that you get if a target that you stun out dies shortly after. Top lane, Wooby and Podibos fighting over the camp, but the reinforcements are on their way. Zelia with a support here, but also Maiev is on the way, and that puts Ana into an awkward spot. For Zelia, it is not going to be a good game. Zelia is in a position where there's going to be a lot of pressure on him, and there we have it again. Already the sleep dart on Garrosh as Zelia is trying to make sure that Mopsio is not closing that distance, and they both actually survive. But it got scary for a second, especially with Maiev trying to chase after them.
You know, to the untrained eye, they might have been like, why is Zelia just standing in that bush allowing Wooby to get his face wailed on? But imagine the moment Ana showed themselves, all the attention jumps on her. So I do like the decision to wait for the rotation to come in. Zelia's already been taken down once, doesn't want to get jumped on by this heavy jump from Maiev. Heads up play, micro decisions like that are what separates good teams from great teams.
Sledgehammer. JPL not only with a perfect storm, but also giving up on some of the synergy that you get with the potential level 13 healing static, so he doesn't want to see the second clap there. Instead, it's increased race potential with the Immortal. Getting the Sledgehammer in increases that damage that you do to structures and the Immortal. Not really gonna become too much of a thing in the early stage of the game, but especially later when we have those stacks coming in for the perfect Storm Talon on 1, you can have quite a bit of nuke effect here.
Feels bad when you get put to sleep and get woken up with an orb like that from Poik. JPL finds himself in the deep end of the pool, is able to jump out of there, dodges the stun from Mopsio. A zoning orb, if someone chased after, they would have caught that immediately. Teleport starts to back away. Link is out in the flank, looking to make plays with the Decker Cane. There's the jet propulsion, there's the stun, there's the takedown. Zeli is not having a good time.
Yeah, that's going to be the name of the game. Leftovers are just going to jump on Ana whenever they can. It's going to be up to Urel to really try and protect her or them engaging and getting the first kill. Great escape here by the Kidney. Again, showing his skills and performance on Maiev. Great moves there, but those kills and that pressure against Ana that hurt, because it also makes it very difficult for him to get his stacks together, currently sitting at 4.
Pretty much Ana was traded for a generous amount of damage on that bottom fort. I'm sure Team Dignitas at the end of the day is going to be pretty okay with that, because if they do come away with the Immortal, it'll show up top and they can potentially make a 1.5 fort style of play. Wubby jumps after Blakitni. Do you have another Houdini style teleport? You do. JPL helps to retreat, starts to back out. There's the stun. Mopsio finds that Snitch is just chilling there with Sergeant Hammer. That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, they try to go for Hammer, and that's a nice throw. Immediately engage against Snitch, but he just is able to get out of this one. Well done. Dignitas, even with the disadvantage in like the team plays, when they're losing Ana this early, they're still finding the lead here in the Immortal race, and also the pressure onto the 4 that you pointed out earlier. So now we're seeing them go in again. They have JPL there too, and they can race down that Immortal. Well done by Dignitas. And even with the pressure that Leftovers executes in those fights, in those standoffs, we have Dignitas taking the lead.
What this says to me, Caldor, is the Leftovers just need to hold on. They do not need to give a huge advantage in structures or overall momentum to Team Dignitas. If they can wait to the mid-game, if they can get to a place where these death timers start to have more of an impact, their raw team fight capability can win them today, can get them the second game. But right now, Team Dignitas, they're just kind of, they might be losing battles, but they're starting to win the war.
And Dignitas is now in a situation where, of course, JPL is also going to ramp up that damage through the perfect Storm and Sledgehammer combo. But the defense here at the top is very solid. Leftovers able to take that down without losing the wall even. That is more than only impressive. I mean, the tower falls finally, but it's a far cry away from what you usually see teams accomplish with the first objective, and Leftovers even hold on to an experience lead.
I'm surprised a bit by the heavy commitment from Dignitas to go up towards top. With that bottom fort that far knocked down, why not just go over there and help yourself to the free experience? We do, I mean, I guess you look on Leftovers, like how much wave clear, how much defense do they really have? A surprising amount as it still turns out.
They were hoping to get more through Sergeant Hammer with the siege up and then maybe even create a kill opportunity. They rotated with Wubby fast enough down to the bot lane so they didn't really lose out on much of the lane experience. But now it's that fight over the camp at the bot lane again, where we have Urel and Glaze duking it out. Urel actually disengaging from it because heroes were starting to miss on the map. So Wubby was a bit afraid that Leftovers would send the rotation squad down, which is actually what happened. So if he stayed longer in that one-on-one battle with 44s over the camp, Wubby would have very likely fallen. But as it stands, then he just needs some assistance, because this is going to hurt. It looks more and more like we're going to see a trade again. Deke has taken the top camp and is pushing with it, and Leftovers are simply saying, all right, we can't make a rotation top side anymore, but we can at least make sure that we're also taking your structure at the bottom of the map.
Leftovers showing how committed they are to going for this fort. They use the pulse farm on it, so I do think they're going to stay around until they get that. Top fort is going to be claimed with that bottom fort a sliver away on the side of Leftovers. That's another potential surge of experience that could have an impact later on. But as it sits right now, Caldor, even though they lost the first Immortal, they're about a half level ahead thanks to the 2 takedowns. They are still in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, them taking the structures earlier and also making sure that they get a bit more lane experience through Blaze, making the quicker rotation to the bot lane, have still held on to that lead. But Dignitas is now taking down the fort. And that's going to be the huge game changer, because all of a sudden experience is equal, and it means level 10 for the second Immortal is going to be ready for both teams. And that's when the real show is going to begin. We have the taunt ready now for Garrosh. That's already game changer by itself, and of course Lornado is just going to add up on that.
There's going to be a lot more hectic chaos going into these team fights for the Leftovers. The power spike is definitely going to be substantial. Also for Team Dignitas, Ardent Defender is going to make a player like Wubby that much more dangerous. But the race is already on. Leftovers getting ahead, DAB putting damage. JPL doesn't seem to be the biggest fan of that. Starts to walk forward. Dig, Snitch sets up in position.
But that's just nearly a halftime show.
Yeah.
Leftovers have made quicker rotations towards their own Shaman camp. Dignitas was a bit slow on that. And now it's a great spot. Heavy invade at the top, going straight for the fort here. And Dignitas finds themselves just following the lead of the Leftovers. That's not really where you want to be. They're trying to equalize the damage output on the Immortal, but Leftovers make that rotation very quickly towards the objective. And now we're having that setup in the middle again with that standoff. And Leftovers are starting to make their play. Here comes the move against Mopsio with the BFG on the side of Snitch. But that's a heroic ability that did, in the long run, not do too much.
That might be one of the first times I've really seen Dignitas as a team jump the gun to a degree. The BFG goes out, but the rest of the team wasn't really there to follow up or capitalize on it. That's just a resource. It's not going to net too much value. That could be a bold gesture that helps Leftovers come away with the second Immortal of the game. Let's see what they've got. Yeah. They've got the Lornado, they've got the taunt, but the poke from Hoik is there with Li Ming.
A bold gesture. I see what you did there. I like it.
Oh, yeah.
So, again, I mean, Nopsio is already starting to make sure that a few of those heroes in the back are isolated. They're driving a wedge between them. Dignitas needs to find an opening here. I like the sleeps that we're currently seeing from Ana to try and set something up for Li Ming, but there's no full commitment just yet. We haven't seen an Ana boost dropped yet. It's still basically the halftime show here. Leftovers have suffered a bit more damage on their own Immortal, and with JPL moving in and dropping the Sledgehammer, these nukes are actually starting to hurt. He's sitting at 14 stacks on the Perfect Storm now.
DAB is getting chunked down anytime it gets within auto attack range. Sergeant Hammer is such a strong response to the Tracer. Your shelf life in a team fight is pretty short when you're getting chunked down like that. With Kidney potentially looking to jump over the wall. Wubby is going to jump in. Has the Ardent Defender if things get dicey. There's the back flip from Kidney. JPL on chase, lands the Stormbolt before the jet propulsion goes out, but Mopsio's there for the peel and throws JPL into the deep end.
Yeah, no Nano Boost just yet, so not fully committed, but here he comes. Nano Boost is in, and that's the damage output. Snitch is already in trouble as DAB is aiming for the backline. Hammer about to go down. Great kill by DAB, but the fight in the middle is already racing along as we're seeing the bunker going down. Immediately the lockdown with the seal on Deck Arcane. The Kidney is low, but so is Hoik. Hoik trying to get away. He drops. It's the double kill as the Leftovers are going full all out here in this fight.
Are you kidding me? Somehow the Leftovers not only managed to lose no heroes, but they take 3 down from Team Dignitas in a pivotal team fight. This should, by the way, for them to get the Immortal, to make some serious inroads to the other side of the battleground. Leftovers, they are going toe-to-toe with the best of EU and looking strong.
Maiev nearly fell in that fight, but they kept her alive, and now Dignitas find themselves again on the receiving end. 5 kills for Leftovers, only 1 for Dignitas, another Immortal in the hands of Leftovers, and half a level away from 13. There was no defense for Sergeant Hammer in that backline. Snitch was all alone against DAB, and Tracer took him down. Ana is having huge troubles here too, and by now we're at least seeing 9 stacks on the piercing dart, but he needs 1 more to at least get that little range extension that will allow him to stay a bit farther in the back so that Ana is safer and doesn't need to be a babysitter the entire time.
DAB is going to love those flanks every time they can get the option to. One thing that's tough about having the Ana support is she can only really throw her heals at it 1 person at a time, so if she's worried about keeping the front line alive, that is the green light every time for a player like DAB to go back there, drop those pulse bombs, and get those takedowns. Dignitas is going to have to watch out for that. Leftovers are going to be able to go through one of the towers, help themselves with a generous amount of XP, and look to potentially back out. Another BFG without much follow.
Yeah, BFG comes in but doesn't really do too much. Leftovers already have the talent advantage. This is a moment where as Dignitas, you have to take a chill pill. You just sit there and say like, take a breath, relax. And as he said, they're very analytical in the way that they approach these situations when they are behind. They still stack the, they still get the stacks on Muradin. He's 4 stacks away from completing his base quest, and he's on 18 stacks when it comes to his Perfect Storm. The discrepancy coming from kills that result in a Stormbolt, he gets some extra bonus stacks for that. So Perfect Storm with 18 means the Sledgehammer is already starting to do solid work when you throw it out against the objective. That's going to increase as the game continues. It's going to be great for them. Zelia by now at least has the first quest reward on the piercing dart. That's important for him because it means that you have an increased range of 25% and it hits 2 heroes. That's a huge boost. So that allows him to stay a bit farther in the back and not be that easy to attack.
And it's always surprising to see that amount of siege damage come out of Muradin. You see instances where you're like, all right, we got to dodge Li Ming's orbs. You got to make sure she doesn't poke down this Immortal for free. You also got to worry about Muradin because those Qs start to add up, especially going towards the end game. The next Immortal is going to be here in about 20 seconds. The Bruiser Camp already picked up and dealt with on the side of Team Dignitas allows Leftovers to have the potential macro advantage. They're going to rotate back. They should be able to get that Bruiser Camp done before this next objective shows up. Team Dignitas, they find themselves in quite a bit of a pickle.
Yeah. healing static is now there, and the 13 talents are in, but you're absolutely right. That camp that has now been taken is a macro advantage that we have for Leftovers. And it's already a race here for the halftime show, trying to just burn that down as quickly as you can. Very, very similar burst potential here. Both of them ending up with nearly the same amount of hit points left as the halftime show starts. Dig doesn't want to delay this too long. If they would, Leftovers had even a chance to go for level 16 with this, so they want to make sure that this is going to be all said and done before that talent advantage comes to play.
JPL thrown, taunted afterwards. What kind of follow-up we're going to see? Pulse Bomb goes out. The BFG wakes up Mopsio. JPL is going to be able to jump out. Poik tries to back away the members of Leftovers, LE. Poik is waiting, trying to get damage onto this Immortal. It looked like Leftovers thought their Immortal was going to be on the top part and they were ready to defend, so by it flipping on the other side, kind of threw their whole rhythm off.
They were trying to race for a second, but they realized that Dignitas is just in a better spot. And Leftovers have blown a lot of their cooldowns already, important ones at that. And that's something that Dignitas is trying to exploit right now. Moving in already, they try to get the Immortal here for sure, but if they can get a kill, that would be even more fantastic for them. Bunker is on the ground. Immediately the tether is in already. Portiboss looking for the engagement. The Stormers are coming through. Portiboss in trouble, but Whoopi gets locked down and stunned out as we have Poik being attacked, and Poik barely survives thanks to Zelia. Ana with the sleep and the save, Li Ming alive.
Whoopi came in there with that 35 armor too. I think that might have been a difference between Poik waiting to sit this one out or not. But meanwhile, this entire time, that Bruiser camp has done so much damage to that top keep, almost claimed it for free. So if Leftovers are able to somehow come away with this Immortal, and it looks like they are just not going to be able to, they still have that value banked. They can rotate up towards top and force out catapults for the rest of the game at their leisure. Even though they lost the Immortal, they still got big advantages.
The problem is they have 16 now, because the rotation down is going to take 2 waves. That's a massive wave here, and that's so much experience that you get level 16 of it. That's the talent advantage. So they defend with a talent advantage over Dignitas. This is a really dicey situation for Dig, because you know what Leftovers is going to be looking for is dive behind the Immortal. And if you look at that Immortal, it has no shields. The shield switch is tiny and they're already gone, so what do you get out of this? You're trying to get the front wall at least, but they are dodging around in a way because you can tell they know if there's a fight happening behind the Immortal, they are going to be at a disadvantage no matter what. So they have to let this one go. They accept that they're going to take only 1 turret here, and they are still a level behind, making their play for the next objective.
That's the decision that Team Dignitas had to make. One of the points I was looking to make over the course of the series is that I've seen Team Dignitas look their weakest after they've gotten an objective, the objective's taken down, and they start to back away. It seems like if there ever are any positional missteps, it's then. So by backing out early really helps them not deal with that, and with the tier advantage, it better serves them also. Leftovers look to continue to press the advantage. They try to put some damage on this top keep, but now they find themselves a long way from home. Team Dignitas, they're not looking too afraid to go down to talent.
They have to be careful that they don't overchase. Leftovers is waiting to turn this. It's common strategy in the sense like this. You push in, your opponent tries to defend, all of a sudden they get a bit greedy, move too far out, and then you turn around and you engage into a fight that favors you. But Dig is so close to 16 that that would be ill-advised. That keep at the top side is so low though, that Leftovers, they want to continue the pressure since they know just a few shots and that keep is a goner. So right now Dignitas, they have to face the music. 16 talent here, yes or no, it doesn't really matter. You need to try and defend this.
They really need to hold on to this top keep. As bad as the last Immortal phase was with the Bruiser Camp, catapults would be that much more of an issue. The knockback from Snitch should look to prolong things long enough for Team Dignitas to hang on to their top keep. A nice sweep comes out from Zelia. Whoopi jumps in. There's the BFG. They're going in. Deckard Kane, he puts the Kane down. He gets blown up.
Deckard Kane gets decked, but so does Zelia. Oh no, he actually survives for a bit longer, but the throw Portiboss, and that's the kill against Ana. The second kill comes in. Ural is down. That's not the only one. Li Ming is dead. Dignitas is in trouble. If they lose another one, they might lose the game right here. They're definitely going to lose the keep. No? They're not pushing in. Only 2 heroes left for Dignitas, and Leftovers are not willing, even with the poke available on the side of Blaze, to commit to the keep. Instead, they're going for the Immortal to try and push with the objective.
It's a conservative decision, but they should be able to come away with the Immortal, and they can rotate up there at any time. But I'm still cracking up, man. Mopsio threw Portiboss in there, got that Blaze out to Zelia, same day shipping. It was just like, here, you need to sign for this.
I
Thought
mean,
you were getting out? Not so much.
it was a great decision from him. Zelia escaping was already a bit crazy, but then throwing him in to cut the path of retreat off with a body block, that was fantastic. There were heroes on the left, on the right, no way for Ana to go. So great move from the Leftovers here. The level lead and Dignitas in so much trouble now. 8 kills against 2.
I love this. Team Dignitas are back into a position where they have to defend their Immortal, and LE is then able to pick up the Bruiser Camp for free. The reason why that top keep is in jeopardy is because of the value had earlier out of the very same Bruiser Camp. So these team fights are definitely starting to favor Leftovers the more they wear on. Snitch and the crew look to step forward. Wubby jumps in. There's a stun. There's a nice amount of damage coming in from Poik, but the follow-up response, Murden doesn't even get to use Avatar, which wasn't available. A huge takedown right now for Leftovers.
And that's not the only one. Whoopi is also in trouble, and he's about to fall. Whoopi is down. That's 2 kills confirmed. They're going for Poik. That's the third. 11 kills against 2 as the Leftovers are on a killing spree. They go through top side. They are going for that core. They don't care at all about that Immortal any longer. With everything they have on the board, they want to go for the win. They have the 1-0 lead in the series already, and they are trying to extend that lead and to get that 2-0 in this series.
What is happening right now, Caldor? We thought this series could be another 3-0, and it looks like it very well could be, but not in favor of Team Dignitas. Earlier, a few weeks ago during Western Clash, I said, Leftovers looks like they're getting their raid gear on if they're going to take down this raid boss. And they tweeted back to me, we got to get our mythic gear next time. It looks like they were able to do exactly that. They came to this matchup ready to go.
They're just playing well. I mean, Leftovers have shown with the final at the Western Clash how strong they are. They've taken matches and naps of the best teams. And right now, against Dig, they're just doing extremely well. They have drafts that work for them. They have really good coordination. DAB, again, was in a position where he did enormous work. Ana, as the pick, struggled at the beginning because DAB hunted him down. Hammer was then put under pressure. And let's not forget that Tracer came also as a last pick in, so Ana was already chosen. And that was really something that pressured Zelia a lot. He died twice in the earlier stages because he doesn't have that escape. And it was just extremely well played from Leftovers' perspective. You can't blame Dick here too much. They're not playing a horrible game or anything. Yes, there are mistakes, but they're mostly forced by their opponent. And we know that Leftovers is an emotional game. We've seen it at the Western Clash, and they're doing exactly that. I mean, I can only imagine how comms sound right now.